Hello everyone, Emil Brock here, and it's Friday Ketchup time. So, Christopher,
Hello, everybody. Hello, Internet.
well, today we're going to catch up on a couple of things, right? What's on your mind?
Wow, man, it's Friday again, and Friday for me is a good time. It's, end of the week, weekend in front of us. It's always time for the Friday catch up. Um, and yeah, I think we should kick this week off with a very, very special celebration. And that,
Oh,
I was astounded myself when I saw it. But, LinkedIn plopped up yesterday and told me, hey, you've been connected to Emil for 5 years, 5 whole years. Don't you want to celebrate that? And,
of course.
in that moment, I was celebrating here in my mind myself, because when I started thinking about that, I know, LinkedIn was prompting me to, you're connected 5 years, which is a business network. But if I think about all these things that we've done in the last 5 years, where we've been, what we've done, doing business, going on trips, enjoying life, listening to music, doing all the good stuff, that for me shows basically how special my life, how special my job, how special we can basically feel, because it's beautiful to know that, especially with us, kind of getting to know each other while working for Zuse, there's just so much more that's happened in the meantime. And I'm really, really happy to know you and to have you in my life. So happy 5 year anniversary, Emil.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. That's funny because 5 years ago, that means that I work for 5 years now with Susan. Officially, I started on the 1st of July, but it's funny because I was invited by the management at that time. While I was still working for AT Computing and working for myself, I was invited to come to the SUSE Sales Summit to meet all the regional leaders, so we could investigate what would be the best way to paint as many people as possible green. And that's when I met you. And Lucky wants to have some attention as well. The dog. Cameron, you have to film Lucky. Somebody wants to join in the Friday afternoon ketchup. Hey, Lucky. Okay. So thank you very much for the anniversary.
My friend.
Yeah, and thanks for the how you say that, the recognition you gave me on LinkedIn, and of course it's likewise.
Yeah, sure, man. Otherwise, I think, that was the most important topic. Bye bye. Have a great Friday, everybody. No,
Bye bye.
just kidding. We're talking about open source here every Friday, and there's news from the open source world, and I guess just one thing that's going to be really, really great open source is on the 20th of May, which is next week, 5 days to go, you can join SUSECon Digital. The greatness behind SUSECon Digital is it's completely free of charge. You register, you have 150 sessions. Melissa is going to give a keynote on the recent happenings and where we're at with SUSE, and it's just going to be a really, really great digital convention with all the information about SUSE, about the open source projects, about open source software in general, and I'm generally looking forward to taking part. So if you want to drop me a line, if you want to communicate with me, I'm definitely going to be there next week.
Yeah, and we already talked about it, but we're going to make a SUSECon catch-up, right? If they want it or not.
Yes. Ketchup, that will be great, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, so that's next week. So Melissa, look forward to see you next week at SUSECon Digital. And Dr. T, don't forget Dr. T. He's going to bring us some fabulous news around digital transformation and stuff.
Awesome. And also the next thing was, as usual, and I really love that, by the way, you tagged me in another article you read.
Mm-hmm.
And the article that I just, being a developer evangelist, I thought it was super interesting because the title was "What Makes Developers Happy?"
Yeah.
And basically they were, giving out a couple of numbers about what do developers do? What makes them tick? Why do people contribute? And it was fun to see that what apparently makes developers happy is contributing to open source.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
correct.
That was kind of logical one for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
developers like developing. But I thought was even more interesting was that they said the majority of the contributors in open source are in the age group of 24 and under.
Correct.
And what that shows to me, just to maybe shorten it, really boil it down to its essence, is open source is the new normal. And if you're not using open source, if you're not contributing to open source, you're the weird kid.
Yeah.
And thinking of kind of our generation, we had to lay a couple of foundations like getting computers at home, getting actual internet connection. I remember late 90s, we started piracy, and with the piracy we kind of started this discussion about open rights, Creative Commons, who owns what in the modern world. And in the meantime, what the younger generations have done is they've opened up information and stuff they're sharing and videos and music to the world, and have found ways to monetize on that. And that kind of beautifully ties back to this that we've been doing for the last years, and companies like SUSE have been doing for even more years, which is saying, yes, my actual content, the actual functionality is there for you, use it, it's free, it's not so much free as in free of charge always, but the freedom that you gain when you use it. And seeing that this is, becoming the new normal way of thinking is really, really great, and it's even greater that we both get to be a part of it in our jobs every day.
Yeah, and for you and me, I think it's quite interesting as well to see that only 3% of the people checked the box that they said, I contribute to open source because I get paid for it. Only 3%. And I like that aspect a lot. You and I, we're also people that we work with SUSE not just because they pay our bills, but because we really believe in the message behind it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, no, go on.
No, but that was basically it. There's also, on the topic of open source and on the topic of contribution and really doing the grassroots stuff here, there's another cool open source event happening. Not yet now, but we'd like to mention it, which is the OpenSUSE and LibreOffice Summit that's gonna be held in Nuremberg in October. And I've been to the OpenSUSE summits the last couple of years, and what I find is so great there is we take away a lot of the SUSE only branding and really go into the open source world and all the projects surrounding it and all the cool tech stuff that guys are doing. So we'll definitely be there. We'll try and make an OpenSUSE summit Ketchup if we can. Maybe we've got something cooking, and we'll create our own little paper and hand it in with the call for papers. And everybody who feels he has a message, he has a cool project, something cool to say, please do so. Go to opensuse.org, to the events page, hand in a paper, give a talk, and it's going to be great to see you there.
Yeah, and if they need energizing presenters, they might invite us as well, right?
That would be great, man. I'll be open for that.
Okay, hey, well, I think it's time to wrap it up. We've mentioned a couple of interesting things. So we know each other for 5 years. SUSECon Digital is coming up. Don't forget to register. We'll put the website, which is actually susecon.com, and the article, we'll put the link, and of course we'll look forward, if COVID allows us, that we will come, we'll both be in Nuremberg from the 13th of the 16th to the 16th of October this year in Nuremberg, as said. So see you all next week, and then it will be a SUSECon catch-up. Bye bye!
Have a great weekend!